Hey, listeners, this week on the Low Post podcast, we have Chris Herring from 538 talking Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks and teams we're worried about around the NBA.
This is The Right Time with Bomani Jones on ESPN Radio or on the ESPN app.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. You can send us a tweet at the 1-800-Flowers.com Twitter feed. That is at Bomani_Jones. So do you know what it feels like to be right? And I don't mean to be like a little bit right about something or like, you made a guess on trivia night or something like that, or you thought you had left your keys upstairs on the nightstand and then you get upstairs and what do you know? Your keys are sitting on the nightstand. No, I'm like, do you know what it's like to be right? To stand before America, before the world, before the people who called you all kinds of names and slurs with brotherhood in their avatar. Do you know what it's like to stand before them and be right? Like, do you understand how many people wake up every day wishing that I was wrong about something? Hey, Shannon, they probably think I'm exaggerating on that one right there, but am I lying there?
Happens all the time. Just check the mentions.
Just waiting, right? And no matter what, even when I'm right, they'll jump up in my mentions and they'll tell me about how wrong I was, right? That's how people get down with me. But you know what? After the Super Bowl, my mentions was peaceful as hell. You realize that? That's right. My mentions were simpatico. All it was people telling me how right I was. And you know why it was just people telling me how right I was? It was people telling me how right I was because I tried to do something for y'all. I tried to help y'all. I tried to warn y'all. I tried to tell y'all that the Falcons will ultimately break your heart. I did that. And you know what? As the Falcons won more games and as the Falcons went farther, I endured more and more abuse from people. I had more people being hostile with me, telling me that I was wrong, even though I'd already told them that they could get all the way to the Super Bowl and still find a way to break your heart. But nobody wanted to hear me, right? But I told them at the time, listen to me now, believe me later on, right? Now, let me go ahead and run down for you some of the list of the Falcons' greatest hits that I tried to warn y'all about before the epic collapse. Go ahead and play that. The only thing that game was missing was afterward one of their players getting busted for soliciting a prostitute, because that's the most Falcon thing to happen ever. Or your franchise quarterback deciding, hey, I got a little free time. Who wants to fight some dogs? How about the time their first 1,000-yard rusher, they stopped the game to give him the ball, and he ended the game with 995 yards? Would you like to talk about the time Jerry Rice scored 5 touchdowns on Charles Toast Demery in 1990, while Dion's on the other side doing I don't know what? How about the time the head coach left the letter in lockers because he was going to quit his job because the quarterback got caught dogfighting?
Bobby Petrino, yeah, that was good.
How about the time they scored 2 points in a playoff game? Uno dos.
Yeah, there's that.
Or maybe when they blew a 17-point lead in the second half of the NFC Championship game. I could have told you all those things were going to happen. I tried to warn you guys. Right? I really, really tried to help you. I told you that heartbreak was always around the corner. But I'm going to be real with you. I did not think it was possible for them to break your hearts in the way that your hearts got broken in that game. When they were up 28-3, I said beat them down because they were beating them down. I did not think at that point that the Falcons could find a way to lose that game. I never thought that they would, right? And then keep in mind, the Patriots came back, scored a touchdown, missed the extra point, all right? So you had already gotten a pick 6 out of Tom Brady. You'd already gotten Blunt to fumble. You'd already gotten a missed extra point. You were already getting pass rush. Everything was lined up. There's no way you could possibly lose that game. There's no way that the Falcons could lose that game. The only way the Falcons could lose that game would be to blow a lead unlike any lead that had ever been blown in the Super Bowl. The largest comeback in the history of the Super Bowl was 10 points. They gave up a 25-point lead, 2.5 times larger than the largest lead that had ever been lost in a Super Bowl. There's no way the Falcons could do that unless they did one thing. The only way the Falcons could do that is if the Falcons were the Falcons. And what do you know? The Falcons were the Falcons. And y'all talk bad about me. Y'all know y'all talk bad about me. You know you and your friends was like, yeah, we gonna tell Bomani everything after they win. You know you were thinking that. You ain't say a damn thing to me after they lost, though. You ain't say nothing. You ain't say nothing. You know what you need to do? You need to get on the phone right now at 888-729-3776, and you need to apologize to me. And the reason that you need to apologize to me is all I did was try to help you. When I tried to help you, all you did was try to hurt me. I wasn't talking to you off guessing. I was talking to you about life experience. I didn't root for the Falcons till Michael Vick played for them. I didn't start rooting for the Falcons till I started using them on Madden. I tried to give you some game. I tried to give you some wisdom. I tried to give you some level of understanding. All you gave me back is hell. Now you gonna give me some sorries. You gonna give me some apologies. Because I tried to tell you that this could happen. And none of y'all wanted to listen to me, right? Oh, Bomani just hate the Falcons. Nah. I used to love the Falcons. I was trying to hip you to some game, right? This is the sort of thing the Beach Boys used to sing about, you know? Because I'm the guy, it's better when you found it. Whatever that song is, I was right. I didn't like being right, but I was so right. I'm trying to think the last time I was this right. I can't think of the last time that I was this right. I mean, how much more right could I have? A 25-point lead. How much righter could I have been? Y'all ought to call me the rain, because I'm righter than the rain. That's what you need to call me right now. So y'all going to apologize, or y'all not going to apologize? And you know the first person who needs to apologize to me? I talked about him on TV, but I'm going to talk about him again right now. All right, so I got to breakfast yesterday. Go to a local spot. One I go to fairly often. They treat me good when I come in there, so they know who I am, right? One day they saw me on the television, so they are perfectly aware of who or what I am. So we walk up in the spot for breakfast, and I'm posted up, leaning on the wall, and all right, I gave you the full breakdown on how it went. So I'm posted up, I'm leaning there, and I look up, I'm like, oh, she's cute, right? And then I see, okay, she was some dude, so I ain't going to be, disrespectful. I'm going to just wait the 3 seconds till after they walk past, Manners. I was raised right. I wasn't by myself. You know what I'm saying? Manners. So I saw her. I was like, okay. And then next thing I know, some dude with her, and he come and he stand in front of her. And so dude is wearing this red Atlanta Falcons T-shirt. It's got this Falcons logo dead in the middle. He's got on these army green shorts, and he got on these red kicks because he's doing it big, right? Like he's full on in Falcons mode. So he starts walking to me. He didn't seem to look at me, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not spotted. I kind of like to, lurk under the radar when I'm out in public, right? So as he's walking past me, this dude don't even look at me as far as I can tell. And he's like, heard you saying some real bad things about Atlanta on your show. I'm like, dog, I don't even know you, right? So I looked at him, I ain't gonna lie. I looked at him and said, nah, I ain't say nothing bad about Atlanta. And I said that they gonna break your heart, and you go home right now and see what happens, and they gonna break your heart just like I told you they gonna break your heart. Like, first of all, what is this thing where you think you just go, walk up on me in public and say something slick and keep it moving? What do you think I was going to say? Oh, okay, cool. No, we had a conversation. I cussed a lot. It went fairly decently. But if you are listening, dude who was in the red shirt with the Falcons, one of y'all knows him, right? Because I guarantee you he left and told somebody, yeah, I saw Bomani. I told him I heard what he had been saying, like he the mayor or something. Where are you at now? What do you have to say right now after I am proving myself to be, that's right, the rightest person on planet Earth after I told you not to trust the Falcons, okay? So if you were mad at me, come on back and apologize. I'll forgive you. Why? Because I like to help people. And I can't let y'all and y'all's bad attitudes stop me from helping people down the line. And another point may come where you may still need me to help you. And you know why I say another point may come where y'all may still need me to help you? For all I know, the Falcons might come out here and mess around and win 4 Super Bowls in a row. They might. Who knows? And they might be going to the 5th. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to be like, man, it's 5 Super Bowls. I got to bet on the Falcons. I'm going to stop you and say, hey, man, those are still the Falcons. They're going to break your heart, right? You might have got you 4 Super Bowls out of this, but just you wait. They're going to break your heart, and the heartbreak is going to be worse than any of the good that you felt. And you're going to be like, no. But if you listen to me, you'll then be prepared as they go for that 5th Super Bowl, and then they give up a 2-point conversion going back the other way and lose the game, right? Because I'm here to help you, and I told you not to trust them. Do you realize how hard they had to work to lose that game? And the worst part for the Falcons is this wasn't like there was no curse. This wasn't like something random happened. It wasn't like the man of the year got busted for soliciting a prostitute the night before. There was nothing quirky about it. They just went out there and lost. They just went out there and were like, no, we don't want our draws no more. You can have them, and just gave them up. Just gave them up. Here you go. Take the draws. We don't need them no more. What's dignity to us? So, if you were one of those people who broke bad with me when I told you to be leery of the Falcons, where you at right now? Are you still curled up in bed, sucking your thumb, all depressed because you got your heart broken? If you are, lay in bed until you can't lay in bed until you get a sore. You wouldn't be in bed right now if you would listen to me. One more time. Listen to me now. Believe me later on. Call me and apologize on 888-729-3776 on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. I am the rightest man on planet Earth, and I hate it.
Greeny and Golick have some strong feelings about those left out of the Pro Football Hall of Fame this past weekend.
T.O. and I, we have had our differences, but that guy's one of the great receivers ever played and should be in the Hall of Fame, and it's a joke.
More Tuesday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Interesting, thought-provoking, or at the very least, entertaining. This is the most fascinating thing in the world today. The Right Time with Bomani Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Jeff Saturday, ESPN, will join us next Saturday. Jeff Saturday will join us at 5:30 Eastern. 888-729-3776. That is our telephone number. You Falcons fans who want to call in and apologize, I just want to let you know I'm being magnanimous today, and I will accept your apology. And you know damn well if you are a Falcons fan who needs to apologize to me because I got off that narcotic, and I tried to help you get off that narcotic, except you didn't want to get off that narcotic. In the words of a very famous lady, I could have freed a whole lot more people if they'd known they were slaves to that narcotic.
Look, everybody got problems, and I'm trying to take care of them. I gave up that narcotic.
That's right. I'm off that narcotic. See if anybody wants to apologize. 888-729-3776. Terrence in Georgia. Thanks for calling The Right Time.
Hey, Bomani.
How are you?
I'm fine. Hey, just want to talk to you about that pick six and how that kind of worked against the Falcons more than it helped them. Leading up to that pick six, they had about 4 holding calls on third down, kept them on the field for a long period, probably the longest time.
Yeah. That's cool, Terrence, but I'm looking for the people that owe me an apology. We ain't really trying to break down the game right now. Appreciate that. Let's hit Dave in West Virginia. Dave, thanks for calling The Right Time.
Hey, man, come on. You got to admit you're still a little bit salty. I know you said you don't.
Did you call to apologize? Because if you didn't call to apologize, I don't. Hey, get Dave West Virginia out of here, man.
Come on, why are you gonna bring up Tracy Porter and New Orleans title?
Too bad, so sad. Peace out, man. 888-729-3776. Shannon, are these people afraid to call in today? They know who they are.
Should we give them the number again?
888-729-3776.
To the front. I see you back there.
They know.
Look, your eyes are closed and your hand is raised. I see you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Come on down.
Don't be afraid.
Come on down.
Come to the front. Let us lay hands on you. Maybe it's Matthew in Virginia. Matthew, thanks for calling the right time.
Hey, Bomani. I'm actually calling on behalf of my mom. She, over the last 10 years or so, she's been a Lions fan, a Panthers fan, and now a Falcons fan because of moving. She actually called me yesterday because the parade route in Atlanta was going to go right past her building. And then, and she was telling me all about it yesterday. And then today she called me. She had nothing to say. So I'm sorry.
You know what? I appreciate your honesty, Matthew. Thank you so much. That dude from West Virginia calling. Well, I guess the Saints used to, they camp out there in West Virginia? He knew damn well that. What do you want to talk about Tracy Porter for? Anyway, oh no, that's a Colts thing. You know why I'm here. You know why I'm here. 888-729-3776. Doug in Florida. Thanks for calling the right time.
Hey, Bomani, I love the show. Listen every night, and I am calling to officially apologize to you. I lived in Atlanta for many years, and I bought onto the hype each and every time. You know, Vic was quarterback, got excited. Thrashers came to town, got excited. Super Bowl, got excited. So when they made it through this season, in every game, I started getting a little more excited, and I listened to you every night, and I said, and dipped my toe in that water, and got beat up last night. So I officially apologize to you, Bomani.
Hey, man, no, I appreciate that, man. If you need some help kicking that narcotic, man, I can show you some techniques that I've developed over the years. I'm here to help you, so I appreciate that call so much. 888-729-3776. James in Pennsylvania, would you like to apologize?
Yes, I'm apologizing, and I'm not even a Falcons fan. I bought into it, and then I got burned, and I should have listened to you the whole time.
Did you put money on it?
No, I didn't put money on it, but we're watching. My wife's like, oh, they got this in the bag. You'll be all right. And I was like, nah. There's a guy on the radio who told me not to trust him. I'm not going to. Okay, I'll trust him. Boom, lost.
Hey, man, I hate it for you, man. I hate it for you, man. I appreciate the call, James. 888-729-3776. That's our telephone number. Jay in Indiana, tell me how right I am.
Hey, Bo. First-time caller. Love the show, though. I want to give you a quick call and let you know, man. I was doubting you big time, and I did have a little bit something on it, and I played the Pats and was kicking myself that Bo was wrong. And lo and behold, what happened? They pissed it away. So I want to call and tell you I wasn't hating on you too bad, but I started to get worried, and I shouldn't have. So I'll let you talk about it off there. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Jay. I'm almost feeling bad about making y'all apologize, prostrating yourselves before my rightness in front of the whole nation. Anyway, 888-729-3776. Shannon in Atlanta, you can begin your apology at any moment.
Bo, hey, listen, my man, I apologize, but I can't quit the narcotic. I can't. I'm too hopeful. Heartbroken. Doug Stewart was right. We're still broken down here, Bo. We're still hurting, my man.
Hey, man, I mean, I appreciate the call, Shannon, and I hate the fact that you guys are downtrodden and brokenhearted, except for the fact that you did it to your damn selves. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and got myself off that narcotic. Meanwhile, y'all just go lay around in the alley with the rest of the junkies, not wanting to do nothing to better your life. You know what maybe you should start doing on Sundays? Go to church. I hear that that's a way to get off the narcotic, is to go to church. Maybe they'll give you the support you need so you'll stop putting your love and affection in these false entities.
This Falcons thing, you've been talking about this for years. We've been talking about the man of the year for years.
Yes.
You had this season, as the playoffs went on, people kept asking, Bo, are you going to come back? Are you going to come back? We had 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, and folks were hitting us up on the show, on Twitter. Bo, when you coming back? This is the time, man. Are you going to come back?
And I came close.
And you tried to tell him.
I came close, but I told him, nah, man, can't do it. Cannot do it. No, can't do it. Won't do it. 888-729-3776. JT in Texas, you may apologize.
Hey, how you doing, Bomani? First-time caller, a long-time fan. Hey, you're right. They should be calling for the next 3 weeks apologizing. Not a Falcon fan at all, but, hey, they duped everybody.
They didn't dupe me, and I appreciate the call. I told y'all, Seattle wasn't that good. Green Bay wasn't that good. People are like, man, but this Falcons team is really good. My man Kellen, who's a real jerk about all of this, he was like, yeah, this Falcons team is really good. He's a Saints fan, so you can't trust him. I was like, they're not even that good. He's like, yeah, but the offense, da-da-da. I tried to warn everybody. I even tried to warn Saints fans. Those of you who did not listen to me, Bask in my rightness for the rest of your lives. Jeff Saturday, coming up next on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80. Discover the best new way for you to buy travel. It's called Upside.com. Every time you buy a trip at Upside, you save a ton of money with flight and hotel bundles, and they give you an Amazon gift card worth $100 to even $300 every trip. Use my name, Bomani, and you're guaranteed to get at least a $200 Amazon gift card your first trip. My name, Bomani, gets you at least a $200 gift card free. How can you not do it? Save big on travel and get a big gift card every trip. You'll love Upside.com. Upside.com.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Pelicans, looking to bolster their front court, are in advanced talks with the 76ers about a deal to bring Jahlil Okafor to New Orleans. If the sides agree to go through with a trade, Pelicans expected to send backup center Alexis Ajinça and a future first-round pick to Philly for Okafor, the third overall pick 2 years ago. He and Nerlens Noel have been on the trading block for months, the result of the Sixers' glut of big men. The Knicks' Derrick Rose returns from an ankle injury tonight against the Lakers. Joakim Noah is out with a hamstring issue. The NBA fined Warriors coach Steve Kerr $25,000 for verbally abusing a game official during Saturday night's loss. College basketball, Louisville's Deng Adel and Mangok Nifiang won't play tonight against Virginia after a curfew violation. Number 4 Cardinals, number 12 Cavaliers. 6:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 7 Eastern ESPN. That's followed by third-ranked Kansas at Kansas State at 9 Eastern on ESPN. NHL Penguins forward Evgeny Malkin skated with teammates for about an hour, did some individual work. Still no word when he'll return from a lower body injury.
When you come to Applebee's for an all-in burger with fries and a bottomless Pepsi for just $9.99, you also get a shot at great instant win prizes. Sink your teeth into that. No purchase necessary. Open to legal 50 U.S. 18 plus. See rules at allintowinsweeps.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. All guests join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Just like our next guest, covers the NFL here for us at ESPN. His name is Jeff Saturday. I guess, Jeff, first we call you Coach Jeff Saturday now, right? Heard you got a new gig.
Yeah, man. Got one a couple of weeks ago, so looking forward to doing it down at Hebron Christian Academy down in Decula, Georgia. So, It's exciting, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Now, let me ask you this about this Super Bowl. You are an offensive lineman. You guys love run blocking when you have a lead. How did the Falcons wind up only running the ball 5 times after putting up a 25-point lead?
I don't get it, man. I'll be honest. I mean, this is similar, with the whole Seattle one a few years ago. You just you got to understand situational football, and it's hard. It's always easy to go back and question play calling after it's over. So even taking that out, even if it wasn't Shanahan's fault or he may have called a run and it was a check with me or whatever the situation possibly could have been. Matt Ryan's got to have situational awareness in that situation. You're up. You just had a first down. They called timeouts, so they're going to use them. You decide to go back and drop back and pass, which, okay, you got the MVP, you got all that stuff going, but you can't take a sack. I mean, that's the worst thing you can do, knock yourself out of field goal range or at least make it a much more difficult field goal. They tried to call themselves out of it. Actually had a good play call on the third down, but you have a hold with Matthews. And, again, all that could have been avoided. If you run that thing a couple times, you're already in field goal range, basically a chip shot from Matt Bryant. My opinion is I understand you want to stay aggressive, but I think the aggressive call there is to make them use all 3 timeouts and go up 11 points. Now, can they still win? Sure. I mean, they could still do some kind of miraculous thing, and who knows how it all turns out. But I know statistically you give yourself a much better shot at winning that football game.
All right, we're talking to Jeff Saturday of ESPN. What do you think changed in the second half for Tom Brady, who looked bad in the first half and all of a sudden looked more like Tom Brady?
Well, I think that the length of pass, shortened greatly. If you look at some of the errant throws early, the overthrows to Edelman on the left sideline, kind of coming across on a kind of a middle type drag, and he threw a bad ball there. He comes out in the beginning of the second half. He actually throws two very good balls. Hogan drops one, and Edelman drops one. But if you look, they begin to work outside the numbers somewhat, and the throws were much shorter. They used James White a great deal, and just let that athleticism matched up on a linebacker, kind of take control of the football game. And that's the same as basically running the football at that point, as you're chewing up clock and you're giving yourselves an opportunity for big plays. And that's what they did. And if you look back at how they played the Seahawks the year they won, and I know the Seahawks should have run it and all that, but how they could move the ball in the Seahawks was the same style. Short passes, dump offs. You remember Shane Vereen was the hero of that game, and now you're looking at James White for this game. Very similar. So they reined it in. They made the passes not be nearly as difficult or the windows nearly as tight. But he made some great throws, but the game plan changed and helped him a great deal as well.
All right, we're talking to Jeff Saturday of ESPN. Now, time of possession is an interesting statistic to me because there are a lot of people who say that it does not really matter that much, that it's misinterpreted. But how hard is it for a defense to be out there for 40 minutes like the Falcons defense was?
Yeah, there's no chance. I mean, people can say that all they want, but the only way that works is if you continue to put points on the board, whether it's 3 or 7. When you begin to stall and you turn it over and give somebody the short field, time of possession does play a key factor, because you and I both know, as you watched even the middle of the third quarter, the Falcons defense was gassed. I mean, those guys, listen, they're playing a ton of man-to-man, and they're pressing them up, and they're trying to make Brady throw very difficult passes and longer passes. And I love the game plan, but to your point, that's a bear of an assignment if you got to do that thing for 80, 90 snaps a game. I mean, that against one of the best of all time, you just know at some point, the odds are against you. And so I do believe at that point you begin to play complementary football. Hey, our defense has been out there a ton. Man, we need to run this thing some, and you may not be able to run it all the time, but in those situations, that 3rd and 1 where it's a strip fumble on that, when they act a big throw to Julio Jones again, now you have opportunities to bleed clock and keep your defense on the sideline. All of that plays into the success of your football team. So I don't think it's misunderstood in this one, man. I mean, you look at that, and that team they gave everything they have. I give them a ton of credit, a lot of respect for the way the Falcons played it, but ultimately they just gave out.
All right, talking to Jeff Saturday of ESPN. On a bit of a lighter note, Roger Goodell finally had to face the Patriots fans, at least the ones who showed up in Houston. Have you ever heard booing quite like that for somebody who wasn't playing?
Man, my man Roger, he was feeling it down there, man. They were after him, and you knew, there was no love lost between Pats fans and Roger Goodell, and that win and the way that whole thing went down. But I thought both guys handled it the way it should have been handled. That that in the public eye is not the time to deal with that. And if they need to have a sidebar conversation, they go at it. But I thought the way Brady handled it was very classy. I thought the way Roger did was as well. And then Kraft got to his fan base, which he wanted to do. He's been criticized a little bit about being light on Roger, and I thought he was appropriate but not disrespectful. And so I thought all parties were well served.
Well, you mentioned Tom Brady as being one of the all-time greats. You were the center for another one of those all-time greats. How high up on the pantheon are you putting Tom Brady? I mean, obviously nobody has 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, he is a first-ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. And I think when people start talking about greatest of all time and all that kind of thing, he still, listen, if he loses to Seattle a couple of years ago and loses to last night, he's still, even at 4, he's still one of the greatest of all time, and still, in my opinion, a first-ballot Hall of Famer. So last night doesn't change it for me. I'm one of those people, I truly believe our quarterbacks get way too much credit and blame, and I'm just not in that boat. I mean, I just don't believe in that. There were 52 other guys who gave a whole lot last night and led to that win. And I think Brady knows that. I think Peyton Manning knows. I think all the guys who are involved understand. I think Dan Marino knows that. Never have won one. The quarterbacks always get more more glory and more blame. And so it didn't change my opinion. I think one of the things I respect most about Tom Brady is that he gets the guys around him to play better. And that may seem very, subtle and silly, but at the end of the day, that's what I think differentiates the goods and the greats, is that it doesn't matter who's been in there with him, what coordinator, what staff. He and Belichick and a number of other players have won a lot of really big football games, and that means that he's the driver and he's the captain of that squad, and I got a ton of respect for that. But does it change? Do I think he's greatest of all time? I think you'll always have the argument. You can always go back and forth, but he's definitely in my conversation, and with 5 Super Bowl rings, as far as Super Bowl goes, he's separated himself, evidently.
Got to say, well played by Jeff Saturday. That was very diplomatic. I thought you did very well on that one.
I appreciate it.
All right, my man. Thanks so much, man. Good luck with that coaching job.
Appreciate it. Y'all be good.
All right, now, ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, creators of the Name Your Price tool. Choose from a range of coverage options to pick the price that works for you.
The Patriots Victory Parade is Tuesday morning. The latest from Boston with Mike and Mike. Tuesday starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. All guests join us on the Shell Pinto Performance Line. Thanks to Jeff Saturday of ESPN for joining us last segment. 888-729-3776. That's our telephone number. 1-800-FLOWERS is the only place to find bouquets that wow this Valentine's. Right now, you can order 24 multicolored roses for only $29.99 or upgrade to 24 red roses for only $10 more. Go to 1-800-FLOWERS.com/ESPN. We are giving Falcons fans the opportunity to apologize to me because they know what they've been saying about me and they know they owe me. Let's hit the phones and talk to Eddie in Atlanta. Eddie, thanks for calling The Right Time.
Bo, what's up, man? I've been going at you on Twitter at McWaney. I just want to apologize to you. But not only apologize to you, I need to apologize to my dad because he raised me better than this. I'm 35 years old, born and raised in Atlanta. Remember the old Fulton County Stadium with a baseball diamond? My dad always telling me, don't ever let the Falcons get your hopes up. I went to go see my dad Friday. I told him about Matt Ryan. We got this explosive offense. My dad calmly looked at me and said, don't let those Falcons get your hopes up. And I let them Falcons get my hopes up. It is not just the Falcons. It's the Hawks. No matter what they do, they're never good enough sorry enough to get a top 3 pick, and when they do, they get Sheldon Williams. They get Marvin Williams. It's UGA. They get a top 5 recruiting class every year, but they finish 10-2. Our baseball team just left. Georgia Tech act like they don't even care. What do we do to deserve this? We were up 28-3. I'll never forget this as long as I live. We were up 28-3.
You good? I guess not. Thanks for calling, Eddie.
Had to get that off his chest.
I'm trying not to laugh at Eddie. 888-729-3776. Talk to Daryl in D.C. Daryl, thanks for calling The Right Time.
Yeah, boy, I got to apologize. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I just knew the Falcons were going to pull off, hate the Patriots, and I should have listened to you. They were up, and I didn't listen. I got my hopes up, and Tom Brady dashes them again. When he goes to the Hall of Fame, him and Belichick, I'm going to be on the first bus with my Bills hat on, thankful that he's gone to the Hall of Fame and done with us.
Well, Daryl, I appreciate the call. 888-729-3776. I want to talk about Eddie, though. Eddie was talking about some real pain. I love that Eddie's daddy hit him with that straight talk. Hit him with that straight talk wildness. Hit him with that real.
His dad was like, you're not going to blame me for insufficient daddy.
I tell you, man, my daddy, before the Braves got good, he told me that he regretted the fact that he had raised me to root for a bunch of losers like that, right? And I really got to thinking about the Falcons, like as a franchise, and how baked losing has to be into your DNA in order to lose a game like that. Like, it doesn't just take an effort to lose a game like that. It takes an acumen to lose a game like that. Like, you have to be so proficient at losing in a way that you can't be just simply by growing up and deciding, you know what, I'm going to go out here and lose. That's not possible. you got to like really put in a lot of effort to lose it. And I also, by the way, if there's any reason why I hate that the Falcons lost the game is it didn't really give us enough time to really emphasize what was the biggest revelation of the game for me, right? Because, I mean, the Falcons, they're going through some hard times. Maybe they can't appreciate this right now. But, Shannon, I don't know if you saw this on the Twitter over the weekend, but do you know what Alex Mack's actual first name is?
I would assume it's Alex, right?
No. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is spelled Javon. J is in John, A is in Adam, V is in Victor, O is in Oliver, N as in Norman. So, Shannon, does that look like Javon to you? Because that looks like Javon to me.
It sure does.
Javon Alexander Mack. And I have all the questions. All the questions. Apparently, our man John Jones at SI.com also had a question to ask Alex Mack about his first name being Javon, and he said that Alex Mack shut him down instantaneously. I need to know what happened here. How did Alex Mack become Javon? Because, I mean, it's one thing when we talk about, like, white Jerome, right? It's another thing when we talk about, like, white Maurice. Because, that was white folks' thing first. We just kind of jumped on board, and white folks were like, oh, nope, we're not doing that anymore. But Javon, I didn't know that was – is anybody he maybe was named after? Because I know a lot of Javons, but nobody that anybody's necessarily going to get named after. We got anything on the origins of Javon Alex Mack?
I'm trying to look it up now.
Wouldn't it even be better if it wasn't even Javon, if it was Javon? Like, would that not be the greatest? And, I mean, somebody told me on Twitter, they were like, yo, Alex Mack's real name is Javon. And I was like, let me go look this up, because there's no way in the world that Alex Mack's name is actually Javon. That's just somebody trying to get me gassed up. Incorrect. His name is Javon. And it doesn't appear that he grew up in a Giovanni kind of neighborhood. Who knew? Who knew?
Giovanni?
A Giovannish sort of environs. But yeah, it seems that that's what I learned about the Falcons. If there's any good news to be taken from the Falcons, is now you know that Alex Smith is white Javon, which totally trumps Stephen Colbert being white Tyrone. Like Stephen Colbert being white Tyrone has nothing on white Javon. Have we reached a point yet where we're gonna get a white DeAndre? Or should we just start with white Andre? Because I feel like DeAndre is asking it to go too far.
Yeah, we got to start with a white Dre first.
White, just a regular old white Dre. Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, there's some white Andres. The French cats, they still use Andre as a name, but none of them ever go by Dre. So that's what we need. We need white Dre. But we got Javon. That's all we need. We got Javon Alex Mack, who, by the way, played that game on a broken fibula. And I thought about this. Like, there's nothing in my line of work that's in line with the Super Bowl, so I can't imagine having anything that I wanted so bad that I would play on a broken leg for it or do anything on a broken leg for it. I can't promise you I would do radio with a broken leg, and they let me sit down in a chair, let alone having to lean on big people. Shout out to Javon. You're a tough one. 888-729-3776. That's our telephone number. Coming up next, listen to the echoes of Roger Goodell getting booed on ESPN.
Hey, baseball fans, I'm Buster Olney. And on the latest Baseball Tonight podcast, spring training is right around the corner, and teams are still filling out their rosters. And we reflect on the life and work of Royals pitcher Yordano Ventura.
Hey, basketball fans, I'm Israel Gutierrez. On the latest NBA Lockdown podcast, Amin Elhassan, Kevin Pelton, and I discuss the trade rumor that won't die. If the Celtics can actually challenge the Cavs and the best youngsters in the NBA.